Hello, and welcome to Sleepy Nourishment. I'm really glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe today was long, or maybe you're someone who likes to let the mind wander, following quiet thoughts and gentle rhythms instead of forcing yourself to fall asleep. Either way, this moment is just for you. You don't need to do anything at all. Simply rest. Let your breathing slow down. Let your shoulders soften and allow your body to feel a little lighter, as if gravity itself has decided to be kind tonight. Because this evening, we are not here to rush. We are here to drift. And as we move gently through this journey, whether you are awake or already halfway into sleep, you are still part of these natural rhythms. Everything continues, softly, slowly. May this be a calm space for you to rest, and I'll be here with you. Tonight, we're not going to talk about nutrition in a technical or complicated way. Instead, we'll gently explore something very small, yet deeply powerful. Tiny living organisms that quietly work inside your body every single day. Yogurt and kefir are not just foods, they are living worlds. They carry beneficial bacteria that help calm the gut, support the brain, and softly guide your nervous system back toward balance. As we move slowly through these facts, you don't need to analyze or remember anything. Just listen. Let the words drift by like a calm stream. Now, let your mind drift inward toward yogurt and kefir, where simple textures hide a complex, quiet intelligence. The word yogurt comes from the Turkish verb yoğurmak. It means to thicken, to curdle, to gently bring something together. The word itself already describes a slow process. Warm milk, left to rest, changing its texture over time. Long before yogurt became a product on supermarket shelves, it was simply a transformation people observed with patience. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, just milk, time, and warmth, working quietly, the way nature prefers to do things. Many historians believe yogurt was discovered by accident. Thousands of years ago, nomadic tribes carried fresh milk in bags made from animal skin. These bags traveled under the sun, swaying gently with every step, absorbing warmth from the air. No one was trying to invent anything. They were simply moving, surviving, living. And one day, the milk inside had changed. It had thickened, becoming something new and nourishing. Inside those animal skin bags, natural bacteria lived quietly on the surface. Combined with warmth, they slowly fermented the milk. Lactose began to change. Proteins gently reorganized. What looked like spoilage turned out to be preservation. A soft, tangy food that lasted longer and felt kinder to the body. Sometimes, the most important discoveries happen when no one is watching closely. Kefir comes from the Caucasus Mountains, a region known not just for its beauty, but for the remarkable longevity of its people. For generations, Families pass down stories of strong elders, living active lives well into old age. At the center of daily meals, there was often kefir, a living drink, gently fermented, shared without hurry, as part of ordinary life. The word kefir is believed to come from the Turkish word keyif. It describes a feeling, a quiet sense of pleasure, contentment after a good meal. Not excitement, not intensity, just a soft, internal ease. It's a beautiful thing that a food named for fermentation is also named for how it makes people feel afterward. For a long time, kefir grains were treated as family treasures. They were sometimes called the grains of the prophet. People believed they were sacred. They weren't sold. They weren't traded openly. They were gifted quietly from one household to another. Sharing kefir meant sharing trust, and with it, a small piece of living history. There's a legend that Marco Polo tasted kefir during his travels through the East. Whether the story is true or not, it paints a gentle image. A traveler, tired from long roads, being offered a simple fermented drink, cool, slightly sour, alive with cultures he didn't yet understand. Sometimes, history travels not through books, but through shared meals. In the early 20th century, scientist Ilya Mechnikov became fascinated by yogurt. He noticed something curious. Rural farmers in Bulgaria who ate yogurt daily often lived very long lives. He didn't see yogurt as a miracle, he saw it as balance. Friendly bacteria working quietly inside the body day after day. Mechnikov later won the Nobel Prize for his work on the immune system. He believed lactic acid bacteria helped protect the body from internal decay. At a time when bacteria were feared, he suggested something radical, that some microbes were not enemies, but allies, living companions, helping us age more gently from the inside. Before kefir reached the wider world, it was once considered a national secret in Russia. Production was closely guarded, knowledge passed carefully behind closed doors. But secrets rarely stay hidden forever. Eventually, kefir traveled beyond borders, across kitchens, cultures, and continents. Today, it still carries that same quiet message. Health can be shared. There are stories that Genghis Khan fed yogurt to his armies, not as a luxury, but as practical nourishment. Yogurt traveled well. It didn't spoil quickly, and it supported strength during long campaigns across harsh land. In the middle of movement and conflict, there was still fermented milk, quietly sustaining bodies without ceremony, without noise. Yogurt arrived in the United States in the early 1900s. At first, it wasn't popular. Its sour taste felt unfamiliar. It was sold mostly in pharmacies as a health food, not a dessert. Something recommended, not craved. It took time and patience for American taste buds to soften and listen. In France, there is a famous story. King Francis I suffered from severe digestive pain. Nothing seemed to help, until a doctor from the Ottoman Empire brought him yogurt. Simple, unassuming. After eating it regularly, the king recovered. Sometimes, royal medicine looks very much like everyday food. In India, yogurt is known as dahi. It's more than food. It's ritual. Dahi appears in prayers, festivals, and daily meals. It symbolizes purity, cooling energy, and balance. A spoonful before important moments is believed to bring calm and good fortune. Food as blessing. Greek yogurt is made by straining regular yogurt. The liquid whey is slowly removed. What remains is thick, creamy, and dense. This simple act of waiting changes everything. More protein, richer texture, a feeling of fullness that lasts longer. Sometimes less liquid means more nourishment. Kefir grains are not grains at all. They are living communities, bacteria and yeast woven together in a structure scientists still cannot recreate from scratch. They grow, they adapt, they respond to care. In many ways, they behave less like food and more like a living system that remembers how to survive. Because kefir grains cannot be manufactured, they must be shared, passed from one person to another, hand to hand, home to home. This has created quiet networks of connection across cultures and generations. To receive kefir grains is to receive trust and to continue a chain that never truly breaks. In Central Asia, yogurt was sometimes dried into kashk, hard, lightweight, easy to carry, a way to preserve milk for long journeys. When needed, it could be rehydrated and eaten again. Food that knew how to wait, patient, until the moment it was needed. In 1919, Isaac Carasso began producing yogurt in Barcelona. He named his company after his son, Danone. What started as a medical food for children slowly became something global. Factories replaced kitchens, labels replaced stories. But inside each cup, the fermentation remained the same, quiet, alive. Today, yogurt and kefir are recognized worldwide as symbols of gut health and mindful living. They appear in breakfast bowls, smoothies, and late-night snacks. Modern life moves fast, but these foods still ask for slowness. They remind us that health is built gradually, culture by culture, day by day, from the inside out. Yogurt has a gentle sourness, not sharp, not aggressive, just enough to feel refreshing. The moment it touches your mouth, saliva begins to flow naturally. The palate wakes up softly. It's the kind of taste that clears without overwhelming. A clean beginning, like opening a window and letting cool air move through slowly. Kefir tastes sharper than yogurt, slightly tangy, a little wild. Sometimes you can feel tiny bubbles, a light fizz dancing on the tongue. That gentle sparkle comes from natural fermentation. Living cultures, still active, still moving. It's not meant to be smooth perfection. It's meant to feel alive, even as you rest. The texture of yogurt is thick, creamy, almost like soft silk. Kefir is different, more fluid, closer to drinkable milk. Each one meets the body in its own way. One settles slowly, the other flows. Both remind us that nourishment doesn't have just one shape. It adapts to how we like to receive it. Fermented milk carries a quiet aroma, slightly yeasty, a little like fresh bread dough or mild brewing grains. It's subtle, never loud. A scent that doesn't demand attention. It simply exists in the background. Comforting, familiar, like a kitchen that has been used for many years. Making yogurt at home is surprisingly simple. Warm milk, a spoonful of starter, time. Wrapped gently in a blanket, left overnight. No machines, no urgency, just trust. In the morning, the milk has transformed. Thick, white, still warm with quiet success. A small, satisfying miracle. Opening a pot of homemade yogurt is a simple kind of joy. No celebration, no applause. Just a moment, seeing the surface, smooth and set, holding the spoon still before the first scoop. For many people, this quiet moment in the kitchen feels deeply grounding. Proof that patience worked. Kefir grains look like tiny white cauliflower florets, soft, rubbery, springy to the touch. They don't look powerful, they don't look important, but inside, they hold entire microbial communities, living together, supporting one another, small, humble, and quietly effective. When kefir is poured into a glass, It sounds thicker than milk, a slower flow, a deeper sound. That sound alone tells you this drink has weight, body, substance. It doesn't rush, it settles. Even the act of pouring becomes a sensory cue to slow down. Greek yogurt is so thick you can turn a spoon upside down and it won't fall. That density comes from waiting, from removing liquid and letting concentration happen naturally. It feels steady, grounded, a food that doesn't move quickly once it arrives, like an anchor in a busy day. The sourness of yogurt stimulates the salivary glands. It prepares the body to digest, to receive food. This gentle signal tells the nervous system, we are safe. We can eat. We can rest afterward. Sometimes, the body just needs a quiet cue to shift from alertness into ease. Yogurt has been used for centuries as a natural marinade. Its lactic acid gently softens meat fibers, not by force, but by patience. As the yogurt rests against the surface, proteins relax, textures change. The result is tenderness without dryness. A quiet transformation happening long before heat is applied. Food learning to let go. Kefir can be made from many liquids: cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, even coconut water or sweetened water for water kefir. The cultures adapt. They find a way to live. Fermentation doesn't insist on sameness. It works with what is offered. A reminder that flexibility is also a form of strength. Yogurt mixed with honey and nuts creates a balanced breakfast. Creamy, crunchy, gently sweet. The textures play together without competing. Each bite feels complete, not heavy, not rushed. A simple combination that nourishes and allows the morning to begin slowly, without shock. Tzatziki is a traditional Greek sauce made from yogurt, grated cucumber, and garlic. Cool, refreshing, quietly aromatic. It soothes the heat of grilled foods, balances richness, cools the mouth. This is yogurt as harmony, not standing alone, but helping other flavors find calm. In India, lassi is a summer drink, yogurt blended with water, sometimes mango, sometimes spices, served cold. It cools the body from the inside. In hot climates, this gentle drink becomes protection, a way to move through heat without exhaustion. Food as temperature adjustment. When kefir is strained, the liquid separates. What remains becomes a soft cream cheese, spreadable, mild, comforting. This transformation feels almost quiet. No cooking, No fire, just gravity and time. Sometimes doing nothing changes everything. The white color of yogurt feels clean to the eyes, uncomplicated, pure. It carries a visual sense of freshness. For many people, this color alone signals safety, gentleness, a break from visual noise. Even before tasting, the body begins to relax. Frozen yogurt offers a cooler alternative to ice cream. Still creamy, but lighter. Still sweet, but less heavy. It melts more quickly, leaving a clean finish. A dessert that doesn't linger too long. Pleasure without overload. Enjoyment that knows when to fade. When making smoothies, adding kefir introduces a gentle sour note. It balances the sweetness of fruit, strawberries, bananas, mangoes. Without kefir, they can feel flat. With it, the flavors wake up. Not louder, just clearer, like adjusting light rather than volume. A spoonful of cold yogurt sliding down the throat can instantly cool the body, especially on warm days. It calms thirst, soothes heat. The sensation is immediate and comforting. A reminder that relief doesn't always come from abundance. Sometimes it comes from one quiet bite. Yogurt is made with two main bacteria, Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. Their names sound complex, but their work is simple. They help milk change, slowly, gently. They don't rush the process. They collaborate, each one doing its part, until the texture becomes soft and the flavor turns calm and slightly sour. Kefir is more diverse, much more. It can contain up to 60 different strains of bacteria and yeast. Living together in balance, no single strain dominates. They share space, resources, time. This diversity is part of kefir's strength, a small ecosystem, floating in a glass, working quietly, without conflict. During fermentation, milk sugar, lactose, is transformed into lactic acid. This process changes how the milk feels and how the body receives it. Sweetness fades. Tang appears. The milk becomes easier to digest, not by removing anything, but by changing it. Transformation rather than subtraction. Because lactose is already broken down. Many people who struggle with dairy can still enjoy yogurt and kefir. The bacteria have done part of the work already. Digestion feels lighter, less resistance, more ease. Sometimes, support comes from letting others help, even when it happens inside you, silently. Lactic acid creates a mildly acidic environment inside the gut. This environment discourages harmful bacteria from growing too quickly. It doesn't attack. It simply sets boundaries. Friendly microbes thrive. Unfriendly ones struggle. Balance is maintained, not through force, but through conditions that favor calm cooperation. Kefir contains a unique compound called kefiran. It's a natural carbohydrate produced during fermentation. Kefiran has gentle antibacterial properties and supports tissue healing. It forms a soft protective layer, not aggressive, not harsh, just quietly supportive, like a thin blanket, resting where it's needed. Yogurt is rich in calcium, a mineral essential for bones and teeth. But calcium also plays a role in nerve signaling, muscles relaxing, neurons communicating, heartbeat staying steady. When calcium is absorbed well, the body feels more grounded, more stable, less on edge. Strength with calm built in. Yogurt provides vitamin B12 and riboflavin. B2. These vitamins support the nervous system. They help protect nerve cells and support heart health. Their work is subtle. You don't feel them directly. But without them, fatigue arrives faster. Clarity fades sooner. Support often works behind the scenes. The probiotics in kefir can temporarily settle in the gut. Some even stay longer. Yogurt bacteria usually pass through, doing their work as they go. Both are helpful, just in different ways. One visits, one lingers. Both contribute to a healthier internal environment without demanding attention. Yogurt provides high-quality protein, both casein and whey. Casein digests slowly. Whey digests more quickly. Together, they create sustained nourishment. No sudden spikes, no sharp drops, just steady energy released over time, a rhythm the body can trust. Fermentation naturally increases certain B vitamins in milk. Vitamin B6, folate, and others become more available. These nutrients support energy metabolism. They help the body use what it eats. Nothing flashy, just efficiency, quiet support, working in the background, so the body doesn't have to struggle. Kefir contains tryptophan, an amino acid linked to relaxation. Tryptophan helps the body produce serotonin and later melatonin, the hormones that guide mood and sleep. This doesn't act like a switch. It's a slow nudge, a gentle suggestion toward calm. During fermentation, bioactive peptides are formed. These small protein fragments can help relax blood vessels. Blood pressure eases, circulation improves, the heart works with less resistance. This effect is subtle, not dramatic, just a gradual softening inside the system. Yogurt helps improve the absorption of minerals like magnesium and zinc. These minerals support muscles, immunity, and stress response. When absorption improves, the body wastes less, keeps more, uses nutrients efficiently without asking for excess. Lactic acid acts as a natural preservative. It lowers pH, creates an environment where spoilage bacteria struggle. This is how fermented foods last longer, without chemicals, without intervention. Nature's way of saying, slow down decay gently. Some studies suggest kefir can help break down cholesterol in food. Not instantly, not completely, but gradually. It's part of a bigger picture. Daily habits, repeated quietly, over time. Small actions, adding up. Certain beneficial bacteria help synthesize vitamin K directly inside the gut. Vitamin K supports blood clotting and bone health. It's another reminder that the body isn't working alone. It relies on partnerships inside itself to function smoothly. Yogurt is naturally low in sodium. This makes it friendly for people watching salt intake. Less sodium means less water retention, less strain on the heart. Balance, without deprivation, flavor, without overload. Kefir contains yeast strains such as Saccharomyces. These yeasts help control harmful fungi inside the body. They compete for space. They keep balance. They don't eliminate everything. They maintain order, so the system stays calm rather than chaotic. The combination of fat and protein in yogurt helps stabilize blood sugar. Energy is released slowly. No sharp rises, no sudden crashes. This stability supports focus, mood, and rest. When blood sugar is steady, the nervous system can relax, and rest comes more easily. Caring for kefir grains often feels like caring for a small pet. They need fresh milk, clean containers, regular attention. When fed daily, they grow, they multiply. When forgotten, they slow down. People sometimes joke that kefir grains are like a quiet Tamagotchi. Simple needs, but constant. When kefir grains are well cared for, they reproduce. New grains appear, slowly, naturally. They respond to cleanliness, temperature, and consistency. This growth feels organic, unforced. A reminder that living systems flourish when conditions are right, not when they're pushed. Industrial yogurt production begins with pasteurization. Milk is heated to remove unwanted bacteria. This creates a clean starting point, a blank canvas. After that, specific cultures are added intentionally. Nothing is left to chance. Control replaces curiosity. But the fermentation itself still follows nature's rules. Once cultures are added, the milk is held at a precise temperature, usually around 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. Warm enough for bacteria to work, not too hot, not too cold. At this temperature, time does the rest. No stirring, no interference, just waiting. When the desired tang is reached, fermentation is stopped by rapid cooling. Cold slows everything down. Movement pauses. The yogurt rests. This shift from warmth to cold locks the texture in place. A moment where transformation ends and stability begins. Eating yogurt after a meal can support digestion. It helps ease bloating, reduces heaviness. The body receives a signal that digestion is supported. For many people, this small habit makes evenings feel lighter, more comfortable, less tense. Drinking kefir in the morning is a ritual for many, a way to wake the gut before the mind fully wakes. It's not about energy, it's about readiness, preparing the digestive system for the day ahead, like opening the curtains slowly and letting light enter. Glass jars used for yogurt are often reused, cleaned, refilled, used again. This small habit reduces waste, feels intentional, mindful. Sometimes, sustainability begins with simple choices, made repeatedly, without effort. Straining Greek yogurt creates large amounts of acid whey. This byproduct is challenging to dispose of. In some places, it has become an environmental issue. Modern food systems create problems alongside solutions. Awareness grows slowly. Questions follow. How to nourish without harming. Today, acid whey is being reused as animal feed, as bioenergy, as fertilizer. Waste becomes resource. This shift mirrors fermentation itself. Nothing is thrown away. Everything is transformed. Even leftovers can serve a purpose. Making yogurt at home allows you to control sweetness. Nothing is hidden. No extra sugar unless you choose it. This small decision changes the relationship with food. Instead of reacting, you decide. The body responds differently when sweetness is gentle. Energy stays steady. Cravings soften over time. This habit teaches patience. It reminds us that nourishment doesn't need intensity. It needs consistency and quiet intention. Drinkable yogurt has become popular for people with busy schedules. It's easy to carry, easy to consume, no spoon required. For many, this becomes a bridge between meals, a way to support the gut even on moving days. Not a perfect ritual, but a realistic one. Health that adapts to modern rhythms instead of resisting them. In Bulgaria, yogurt appears in nearly every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's not trendy, it's tradition, a source of national pride. Families pass down starter cultures like heirlooms. This continuity creates trust. When a food is eaten daily, over generations, it becomes part of identity, not a supplement, but a companion. Water kefir offers an alternative for those who avoid dairy. It's fermented with sugar water, fruit, and living cultures. The result is light, gently fizzy, refreshing. It carries probiotics without milk. This option reminds us that fermentation isn't limited to one form. Health can arrive through many paths, quietly. Shaking a bottle of kefir before drinking helps mix the thicker curds with the clear whey. This simple action restores balance. Texture becomes smooth again. Flavor evens out. It's a small ritual, often done without thinking. Yet it mirrors something deeper. When things separate, sometimes they only need gentle movement to come back together. Expired yogurt doesn't always mean waste. It can be used as a face mask, a hair treatment, a gentle exfoliant. Lactic acid softens skin naturally. This reuse feels respectful. Nothing is thrown away too quickly. Even when food has passed one role, it can serve another. Transformation doesn't always end. It simply changes direction. Kefir grains can rest in the refrigerator or dried for long periods. This dormancy protects them. They wait patiently. When milk returns, they wake up again, alive, responsive. This ability to pause without losing vitality mirrors something human. Rest is not failure, it's preparation. Many people avoid metal utensils when handling kefir grains. Not because stainless steel is dangerous, but because tradition lingers. Plastic or wood feels safer, gentler. This habit is less about chemistry and more about care. It reflects respect for something alive. Sometimes, how we treat food reveals how we treat life itself. Overnight oats with yogurt have become a modern ritual. Oats, milk or kefir, time, left to soften while you sleep. By morning, breakfast is ready, no effort required. This habit supports calm mornings. No rushing, no decisions, just nourishment, waiting quietly. When you wake, The journey from fresh milk to yogurt or kefir is a biological transformation, invisible yet powerful. Bacteria work slowly, proteins change shape, flavor develops. Nothing dramatic happens at once, but by the end, something new exists. This journey reminds us that meaningful change rarely arrives suddenly. It unfolds patiently. Modern science now recognizes something called the gut-brain axis. It's a two-way communication system between your digestive system and your brain. Signals travel constantly, from the gut to the mind, and back again. This means how your stomach feels can shape how you think, how you feel, and how easily you rest. The gut is not separate from thought. It is part of the conversation, always speaking quietly. About 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, not in the brain. Serotonin influences mood, calmness, and emotional stability when the gut environment is balanced. This production flows more smoothly. Happiness doesn't always begin with thought. Sometimes it begins with digestion, with bacteria doing their work, unnoticed but deeply influential. A healthy gut microbiome supported by kefir is often linked to a more stable mood. Not constant happiness, but emotional resilience, less reactivity, more steadiness. The nervous system feels supported when inflammation is low, and digestion feels safe. This inner stability allows emotions to pass without overwhelming, like waves moving through without pulling you under. One strain of bacteria, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, has been shown in studies to reduce anxiety-like behavior in animals. It influences receptors in the brain connected to stress response. This doesn't mean food replaces therapy, but it suggests something gentler. That microbes, tiny and unseen, can soften the volume of fear from the inside. Probiotics found in yogurt have been shown to lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Lower cortisol means less tension, less alertness at night. The body feels safer, more willing to rest. This effect builds slowly, day by day, cup by cup. Stress doesn't disappear, it simply loosens its grip, a little at a time. When digestion feels calm, the mind follows. A settled stomach sends a signal that danger has passed, that it's safe to power down. Sleep begins more easily when the gut isn't working too hard. No bloating, no discomfort, just quiet processing. The body finishes its tasks and gently invites the mind to let go. Calcium in yogurt helps the brain use tryptophan to produce melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that signals sleep. This process is slow, subtle. It doesn't knock you out. It prepares you, like dimming the lights inside the body. When nutrients arrive together, the nervous system understands what time it is. Gut bacteria also help regulate the body's circadian rhythm. They respond to light, darkness, and eating patterns. A balanced microbiome supports a clearer day-night cycle. When digestion knows the rhythm, sleep becomes more predictable, not forced, not fragile, just aligned. The body remembers when to rest and when to wake. Reducing gut inflammation through fermented foods like kefir can also reduce brain fog. Thoughts feel clearer, less heavy. Mental fatigue lifts more easily. When inflammation quiets down, the mind has space again. Clarity doesn't arrive suddenly. It returns gently, like a window slowly opening, letting fresh air move through without effort. Eating fermented foods regularly has been linked to improved resilience under psychological stress. Not because stress disappears, but because recovery improves. The body bounces back faster, the nervous system resets more easily. This resilience matters at night. When the day finally ends, the body is ready to rest instead of replaying everything again. Some strains of beneficial bacteria are capable of producing GABA. GABA is a neurotransmitter that calms the nervous system. It reduces overstimulation. It softens mental noise. When GABA activity is higher, the brain slows down naturally. Thoughts become less urgent, less sharp. This doesn't create sleep instantly. It creates permission, a quiet internal signal that it's safe to relax now. Feeling light after eating yogurt can help prevent sleep disruption. No heaviness, no pressure. Digestion moves smoothly without demanding attention. The body doesn't need to stay alert. This physical ease translates into mental ease. Sleep becomes continuous rather than fragmented. Rest deepens when the body isn't busy struggling with discomfort. About 70% of the immune system is located in the gut. When gut health is supported, immune activity stabilizes. The body doesn't stay on high alert. Less internal conflict means deeper rest. Sleep improves when the immune system isn't fighting. At night, the body prefers repair, not defense. Fermented foods help support this quieter state. Eating a protein-rich snack like yogurt before bed can help maintain muscle repair overnight. Casein protein digests slowly. It releases amino acids gradually. The body receives steady support while you sleep. No hunger signals, no sudden drops in blood sugar, just continuity. Rest feels safer when the body knows it's being sustained. even in stillness. Kefir is sometimes described as a psychobiotic, a food that influences mental health through the gut. This idea reframes nourishment. Food is not only fuel, it's communication. Kefir speaks to the nervous system through bacteria, through chemistry, through time. It doesn't force change, it invites balance from within. The balance of microbes in the gut often mirrors emotional balance. When diversity is strong, resilience improves. Mood becomes steadier. When imbalance appears, emotions feel sharper, more reactive. This reflection isn't judgment, it's feedback. The body constantly responds to how it's cared for. Rest follows balance naturally. Caring for gut health with yogurt can feel like a quiet act of self-kindness. No grand gestures, no discipline, just regular nourishment. This consistency sends a message. I am safe. I am supported. The nervous system listens closely. When care feels gentle, the body relaxes into it, and rest arrives without resistance. A warm cup of kefir can replace the traditional warm milk at night. The temperature soothes. The fermentation supports digestion. Warmth travels downward, slowing the body, preparing it for sleep. This ritual doesn't demand belief. It works through sensation, comfort, familiarity, signals the body understands immediately. When beneficial bacteria are active, they do the work for you. Digesting, balancing, communicating. You don't need to control them. You don't need to think. They operate best when you let go. Rest is possible because something else is holding the system together, quietly, through the night. And this is the final truth. Health begins on the inside, long before symptoms, long before solutions. And good sleep begins when the body feels peaceful, not perfect, just safe. When digestion is calm, the mind follows. Nothing more is required. Only rest, only stillness, only letting go now. We've now traveled through gentle facts about yogurt and kefir, from ancient fermentation practices to the delicate connection between your gut and your mind. Invisible bacteria help your digestion slow down. Signals between the gut and brain grow softer and more balanced. Happiness, it seems, doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it grows quietly. One breath, one moment, one gentle culture at a time. If this journey helped you relax or learn something new, you're welcome to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone who needs calmer nights or a happier gut, feel free to share it with them. For now, rest deeply, sleep gently, and let your body continue its quiet work through the night.